What's up, YouTube? NBA Jerry here. I wanted to address a couple things, man. A lot of things being said about LeBron, being better than Jordan or who's better and this, that, and the third. It's crazy because when you got the Jordan fans, the Jordan people that love Michael Jordan, or the people that live in the past, they don't want to accept that LeBron's better, right? And then you got the new school people that love LeBron, and they don't think that that old guy and the grainy footage, Michael Jordan, could be better than LeBron because LeBron does more and stuff like that. So let me give you my thoughts on this real quick, and let me tell you where I'm coming from, because a lot of people, don't know exactly where I'm coming from. So let me explain. When you hear me talking about LeBron James and he's my favorite player, he is my favorite player. You know what I'm saying? So let me give you the timeline from this time I started watching basketball to up to this point, right? So I didn't watch basketball as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start watching it until I was 13 years old. So I started a little late. So I watched him in the slam dunk contest, in the 1988 slam dunk contest. I didn't know what was going on. I just saw him, and they kept showing him, and I was like, man, I like that dude, right? And then he won the slam dunk contest. The next night, the next day, he won the All-Star Game MVP, 1988. And then after that, I just became not only a avid basketball fan, but I was just a Michael Jordan. Like, I was obsessed with the dude when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I patterned my whole life after Michael Jordan. Bought Michael Jordan Come Fly With Me videotape. Watched that till it broke. Bought another one. Had everything. Jordans, posters, everything. Right? And Michael Jordan was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I did all the history. Bottom went back the first 3.5 seasons before I started watching him. Went through all the pain of him losing to Detroit 3 years in a row. And then finally, that fourth year for me watching basketball, because 88 he lost, 89 he lost, 90 he lost. And then finally in 91, they went and beat the Pistons. But then during the 90s, there was other players coming up like Shaq. And I like Shaq and stuff like that. So when Shaq came in the league in Orlando, I used to, I bought his rap tape, and I liked, his songs and stuff. I used to play it in my car and everything. And then when Jordan retired the first time, because I'm not no, true basketball fan as a kid, like growing up watching the team. I just like players. I don't like any teams. I don't have any affiliation or loyalty to any team. I like players, right? So when Jordan retired, it messed me up for a few months. I was like, damn, what am I going to do here? He's the reason I watch basketball. So I said I had to pick another player. So I picked Shaq. I like Shaq. So that year and a half, Jordan was gone. A few months into it, I said, fuck it. I'm gonna watch Shaq. And I liked Shaq, because he was my second favorite player at the time. And so when Jordan came back, I said, oh, forget Shaq. Jordan's back. Cool. And I remember they played Orlando. And it was funny because I was a big Shaq fan, but I hated Shaq in that 95 series versus Orlando. And that's when Jordan lost the playoff series. That's the first time he had lost in a long time. And then, that's when he had his number changed and stuff like that. He had 45, and then he changed to 23 in the middle of the series, or after game one or something, then they lost. And then the next 3 years, they won 3 more championships. And then he retired, came back for the Wizards and everything else. Well, I knew the next time he retired, I said, man, I got to pick a player again, because Jordan's going to be gone. So the closest thing to Jordan was Kobe to me. And Kobe was a rookie. So I started watching him, and I said, all right, well, this is probably going to be my dude right here. So his rookie year, didn't do too much, had some highlights. Second year, he started coming along, and he, went to the All-Star game and all that other stuff. I said, okay, this is my dude. So once Jordan retired, I had my second favorite player, which was Shaq, and then Kobe on the same team on the Lakers. Oh, this is perfect. I'm good. I got my 2 favorite players, and I'm with the Lakers now. Well, Jordan comes back for the Wizards. An old Jordan. And I remember everybody's like, "What you gonna do, Jerry, when they play?" I said, "Man, I'm a Lakers fan now. Jordan's old. I can't like Jordan anymore." That's what I said out loud, but I knew inside, as soon as they played and the ball went up, I just hated the Lakers and hated Kobe, hated Shaq, and I just loved Jordan. You know what I'm saying? And probably to this day, if Jordan came back right now, and as much as I love LeBron, if Jordan came out there, I'd probably say, fuck LeBron. And I'd be like that with Jordan. And so, I still like Jordan those 2 years, didn't go to the playoffs. And as soon as, it was crazy because when Jordan didn't go to the playoffs and then Lakers did, and the regular season was over with, I was back with the Lakers in the playoffs because, I was like, well, Jordan's gone, let me go back with my boys. So you can call it a bandwagon, whatever you want to call it, but that's just what it is, right? And then I remember early 2000s, I started reading about LeBron when he was like a sophomore or something. And I was like, okay, this kid's going to be cool to watch. And this was right around the time when Kobe and Shaq started falling out, and Kobe had the rape case, and then he snitched on Shaq. And I was just like, oh, man, I really didn't like Kobe at the time, man, for doing that to Shaq. And plus, I just didn't like how they kept going back and forth. We knew they was going to break up. And so I said, oh, damn, I got to pick another player again because these two are breaking up. And I didn't want to go with Shaq because Shaq was getting old and fat. And I didn't like Kobe anymore because Kobe was a snitch. And he was acting like a bitch when it came to other stuff. So I was like, I don't really like Kobe because he was doing and saying some stuff I didn't like too. Like, instead of giving Jordan his props, he was saying basically, oh, I didn't really like Jordan growing up. Magic Johnson was my favorite player. And I'm thinking, that's like Jason Kidd saying Jordan was his favorite player. Jason Kidd played exactly like Magic, and Kobe played like Jordan. He wouldn't admit it. And so that made me not like Kobe either. So I had to pick a new player. And that new player was LeBron James. And his senior year, I told everybody the whole year, I said, this is going to be my dude right here. A lot of people say, oh, he's not going to do shit in the NBA. He's going to be a bust. He's only doing that against high school kids and this, that, the third. And when he came in, I've been a fan, since day one he came to the NBA. Cleveland was my team I was going with because my favorite player. So I don't have a team. I just vote for the player or the team that my player plays with. And so when LeBron made the decision, he still was my favorite player to watch. I didn't like him anymore. You know what I'm saying? I was happy he won the championship against Kevin Durant and stuff, but, I wasn't like riding with him like he was with Cleveland. But then when he decided to come back to Cleveland, I said, all right, let me go back with my boy. He'll be my favorite player, and I'll ride back with him. I've been doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm the type of dude that I don't live in the past. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time in the NBA. He's arguably maybe not the most accomplished because if you really look at it, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if you look at from the time they played basketball from high school all the way to the NBA, I don't think anybody's more accomplished than Kareem. Kareem, I think he lost one game in high school and one game in college. And then he won, 6 championships just like Jordan. He played longer than Jordan. His career was longer. And he had the most unstoppable shot in the NBA history. He had that hook shot. And also, he was a center. And a lot of people know that, basketball teams are built around centers. And he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest center of all time. It's up for debate between him and Wilt and Bill Russell, however you want to look at it. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is an all-time leading scorer. Nobody has more points than Kareem, and I don't think that's going to be touched. Maybe LeBron may come close to it. Depends on how much he plays. But if he plays for 20 years like Kareem, he won't do it. I think he has to play more than 20 years, if I'm not mistaken, if I had to do the numbers right. But, so Kareem is probably the most accomplished. The reason why people say Jordan's the greatest player of all time is because of the way he did things, and a lot of people talking about LeBron is a media hype and stuff like that. It's so funny to hear this because when I was a kid loving Jordan, the older players that liked Kareem and Wilt and Iceman and Dr. J and all that, they were saying the exact same thing about Jordan to what they're saying about LeBron. All the media, they hype up Jordan, and they'll show Jordan get a steal and a dunk, but they won't show when he gets backdoored when he missed the steal and stuff like that. And they say he's just overhyped. And Wilt Chamberlain would say the same thing too. So, people that don't think Michael Jordan got hyped are stupid, okay? Because Jordan did get hyped. Maybe not to the same level as LeBron, because the media is a lot different now. But he got hyped too, believe me. And this is from someone that loved Michael Jordan. So, when people ask me who's better, I made videos about who's better, I thought, between LeBron and Jordan and stuff like that. But it's hard to compare because they played in different eras. They played in completely different situations, man. So it's hard. I mean, literally, Michael Jordan's NBA is different than LeBron's NBA. It's just completely different. So if somebody would say, oh, Jordan played in the harder league than LeBron. When I was a kid, people that like Wilt and Kareem said the exact same thing about Jordan. They say Jordan wouldn't have lasted when Wilt and them were playing because the game was tougher. You even touch Michael Jordan, it was a foul. Stuff like that. Even Magic Johnson would kid and say, oh, you can't even come close to Jordan because it's a foul. You know what I'm saying? Yes, the 90s were a tough brand of basketball. It was compared to now. But the 60s and the 70s was much tougher than the 90s. So when you're trying to compare players, you got to understand, you got to look at the overall competition they're playing against. And LeBron right now's competition is way different than Jordan's. Jordan's, to me, his competition was a lot harder than LeBron's. It is. But at the end of the day, LeBron can't do anything about that. LeBron is basically like Roy Jones Jr. You know what I'm saying? Roy Jones Jr. was a great boxer, but he didn't really fight against anybody. And that's not his fault. And it's the same thing with LeBron. When people fault LeBron for, going through the East and not winning, and winning easily and stuff. I mean, what do you want him to do? Say, well, I can't play because these guys are not as hard as Jordan's. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not his fault that they're comparing him to Jordan. He wears number 23 because, Jordan was his favorite player and, he idolized Jordan. He did everything like Mike. He said that. And does he want to be better than Jordan? Absolutely he does. So I don't understand why people are getting mad about that. Jordan idolized David Thompson. And Jordan wanted to be better than David Thompson. He wanted to be the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, Michael Jordan is just one of these dudes, and this is from one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans you ever meet. He's one of those dudes that people just, for some reason, if you say somebody's better than him, the old school Jordan fans, they get really upset about it. Like, it just cannot happen. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron's career is not perfect. It's not. He's got a lot of blemishes, and you could look at my old videos that I made 3 years ago. LeBron, messed up a lot. And you can see, I've said in my videos, he fucked up against Dallas. He quit against, Boston. He had one of the most irrelevant triple-doubles in NBA history, and I've said that in the videos. I've called him the most disrespected NBA superstar in NBA history because of the way people be punking him and stuff. But that doesn't take away his raw talent. To me, maybe second to Wilt Chamberlain, he is the most physically talented player that the league has ever seen. I don't give a damn what anybody says. I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care if the media hypes him. And they do hype him because the NBA is a business. It's a players' league. It's not like football where the shield means more to the player. This is the NBA, and it's a players' league, period, point blank. And LeBron is the man right now. And they're going to hype him up because they did the same exact thing to Jordan. So I'm not saying that the NBA cheated for Jordan and made him go to the finals. Jordan earned everything he got. But they just do it in different ways. LeBron does it his way and Jordan does it his way. So if somebody says they think LeBron is better than Jordan, to all you old school Jordan fans, what you getting mad about? You know what I'm saying? If it's not a legitimate argument, then if you think they're so off about it and stuff like that, then just say, man, you stupid and don't pay him no attention. You know what I'm saying? I think it is a legitimate argument, that LeBron is better than Jordan. Just like when Jordan, a lot of people don't remember this. When Jordan won 3 championships and he retired, they were calling him the greatest basketball player ever then, after only 9 seasons. Better than Magic, better than Wilt, better than Kareem. You know what I'm saying? And I was with him. I said it too. And the older dudes thought that was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron, who's played in 14 NBA seasons, and has risen to a level that a lot of players haven't been. When they say he's better than Jordan, why can't they say that? After everything he's accomplished, he's done a lot of things that Jordan hasn't. But at the end of the day, it's somebody's opinion, man. If they want to say LeBron's better, then let them say it's better. Either way, it's their opinion. There's no wrong or right about an opinion. There's no facts to say, oh, Michael Jordan, for a fact, is the greatest player of all time. Because there's no doing that. Now you can take a vote and say, oh, the most people say Jordan, but Jordan is not the greatest player of all time to everyone. So sorry, guys. You know what I'm saying? And this is from a guy that thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. The dude walks on water to me, but at the end of the day, LeBron James is doing some stuff that these young kids haven't seen before. You know what I'm saying? So just let them ride with it, man. If they want to say he's better than Jordan, don't get mad at them and go off on them. Just educate them about it. Because when you're older, like us, my age and older, and you see Michael Jordan play, you already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And all you got to do is educate these young kids, and don't get mad at them and say they're stupid. Even the older people that think LeBron is better, just remind them. Maybe they forgot. I'm making this video to basically say this. You have your opinion, and they have theirs. If they think LeBron's better, or if they think Jordan's better, that's their opinion. But don't hate LeBron if you're a Jordan fan, and don't hate Jordan if you're a LeBron fan. Just appreciate him. But at the end of the day, LeBron is still writing his story. Jordan's is over. He's done. Can LeBron be better than Jordan? No. And yes. It depends on who you ask. I'll talk to y'all later.